In sports, if you want to be the best, there are no off days.
Welcome into the No Off Days podcast. He's Chris Cato. I'm Scott Smith. We got BK in the booth. We'll bring him in momentarily. Nice to be back in action, fresh off Daytona. A great trip up to Daytona, as always. Ninth consecutive year I've been to the Daytona 500, and
you've avoided the big one every year.
Me personally, yes, but they always play out in front of us. That is for sure. So I was trying to think back to the guests we had last week. We had Kyle Larson, Shane. I bet BK knows the answer to this. Kyle Larson, Shane Van Gisbergen, and then Chase Briscoe. Who finished the highest out of those? We know we didn't get Tyler Reddick on. But do you remember who finished the highest out of those guys? Or did the Nod Pod curse hit them?
All three were in a wreck.
The Nod Pod curse lives on.
Gosh.
I don't know how Kyle Larson was just limping around there for the last part, but he may have finished the best.
Man. Okay. Well,
that was not a good
scrub
week.
that from the the podcast.
Yeah.
There's no podcast curse. What are you talking about?
What a fun
everybody that
race,
comes
though.
on has better luck leaving our podcast.
Yes, that's what we want them to think.
Brian, what did you think of our trip to Daytona? It's always hard. It's hard work, man. I mean, we logged some long days, but it's always a little bit better with BK.
It was a fun trip. It's always fun going there.
Yeah.
Seeing people we haven't seen them forever, and NASCAR people, they're so helpful. The whole staff there and everything, and. But it is a difficult trip, and I thought we turned out some great stories. My favorite was the Clint Boyer one. I love Clint Boyer.
Did you watch any of our stuff?
I watched
Chris?
it all.
Okay.
I consumed it all. I was just sitting here waiting. No, it was good. Everything looked good. You guys introduced our new member of the sports department, Mark Skoll Jr.
I thought
this
you were
was
going to
his.
say Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. Well, that was funny when you rode around with him in the golf cart there, and he took off his shirt.
Yeah.
But I think Mark had his eyes open, did he not, with his first Daytona experience there?
We were bracing him for it. We were even thinking of putting cameras like GoPros on him and just have him walk through everything and get a first timer's viewpoint of how it all went down. But we figured that would be kind of boring to watch. So it was. But he was taken back. How can you not be? I mean, it was. I will say this, BK. And again, I've only seen a handful of these in the history of the race, but that felt like the biggest Daytona 500 crowd that I have seen since I've been going there. I mean that. The crowd out on the infield grass prior to the start of the 500 was like you couldn't even wade through it. Before, I feel like you could at least kind of pick your spots. Like there'd be a group of people here, you could kind of work your way around, get down to the track. I was like, I'm not even gonna go. I'm not even gonna go in there. It was too much.
Pit road was insane. I mean, normally I'll go out, there for the start, shoot a little bit of. You couldn't even move in there, and. I mean, it's just this. I mean, that's Daytona 500. I mean, it's always crowded like that. But I mean, last year was Trump, and I thought, okay, that's going to be insane. And this year did seem like, whoa, there's just so many people in there.
Can I tell you the highlight for the?
Tell us the highlight. The
highlight of the trip for me. So you know who Nate Bargatze is?
Of course.
Okay, so famous comedian. He was the grand marshal of the race, and our special race day Daytona was happening at 11 a.m. Sunday morning, which was the same time that Nate was going to do his press conference in the media center, and so I was kind of bummed because I was like, he's my favorite comedian, and I just wanted to see him up close. And so we got done, or maybe it was before his press conference, but I'm standing outside the media center door, and I'm wearing a suit jacket, and I'm like, there's a group of people coming in, and he's in this group, he's with his entourage, and he's like. He locked eyes with me. We had a moment.
You had him.
And I think he thought I was somebody official with Daytona. But I just looked at him and I said, Nate, you're my favorite comedian. You're the man. That's what I said. And I think it came out that way. It probably was jumbled. Nate, you're my favorite, the man.
Or your voice cracks.
My comedian.
You're my favorite.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And so it was kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
That was my favorite moment.
Yeah, he was thinking you were some NASCAR official that could get him out of there, but
Right.
no, you were just another person glomming onto it.
Yeah, show me to the exit. But at least I didn't say, hey, let me get a selfie. I could have done that, thought about it. My wife after the fact was like, why didn't you get a selfie? I said, well, it's not professional.
Like you did at the fair last year with the governor? Remember that?
did do
when you
that.
all fanboyed out over the governor? You called him Ronnie.
Ronnie D.
Ronnie!
Well, because that's what I call him in my mind, and then he was there, and I didn't know what to say. So, then I asked him if he's tried
Have you tried the funnel cake or something?
I did. I asked, have you tried the funnel cake? And I was like, did I just ask the governor? If he,
his security team quickly closed around.
Yeah, I'm on the watch list for sure after that. Anyway, so hats off to BK and Mark Skull, as you mentioned, came with us. And these two guys are the best of the best. So it makes the trip a lot of fun. And I thought we did some good stuff.
You guys made us proud.
We'll be back for the 69th running next year. Number 10 for me. All right, BK, since you're with us, why don't you give us an idea of what we have on today's big show?
It's going to be a fun show today. We're talking with the Rays' brand new brand engagement executive. Did I get that right?
I believe that is correct, but I'm probably going to forget it by the end of the show.
Brett Phillips.
Brett Phillips.
New role there with the Rays. He's rejoining the team. And we'll talk to him. That guy's always great to talk with. And probably is that the best play or the second best play maybe in Rays history?
I think Game 162 is probably
right.
That has the lead spot, but in my opinion, because of recency bias, I go with the World Series walk-off. That to me, it was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen in real time take place. So I'll give it that.
Yeah, I do too. I'm sure if we'd been there for Longoria's homer, it would have been, same kind of magic. But that was just such an insane play.
Yeah. Oh, and then at the end of the show, how about a little randomizer? Have we done that in a while?
Oh, I don't know if we've done it in 2026.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
So we'll do randomizer.
Okay. Very good. Looking forward to it, BK.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right. If you're listening and you want to watch, go to fox13news.com/nodpod. If you're watching and you want to listen or subscribe, you can take out your phone, zap the QR code on the screen, and head to our show page. Feel free to leave comments on our YouTube channel and a 5-star rating on iTunes. If you feel so inclined, please subscribe. fox13news.com/nodpod. All right, Chris. So trying to get into some of the bigger storylines this week that are playing out, and so I figured I'd launch a new game called More Likely. More likely, ladies and gentlemen, more likely. BK is not the only one that makes up games here, but his are just more fun. Here we go. So I'm going to give you a news story. I'm going to give you 2 potential outcomes, either A or B, and then we're going to decide which one we think is the more likely outcome.
Is there a prize for winning this game? Or?
I don't think there's any winners. I mean, if we look back, maybe we could award after the fact. But I think the heart of this game is maybe it's neither A or B, but you got to pick a lane.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So here we go. Story number 1. Mike Evans' agent just confirmed that he will not be retiring. He's going to explore free agency, however, and that does not mean that he's going to be a lock to return to the Buccaneers. So, question, what is more likely? Scenario A, Mike Evans takes a hometown discount to stay in Tampa for a 13th season and retire as a Buck for life. Or scenario B, Mike Evans signs a 2-year contract with the Houston Texans back in his home state to chase one last ring while the Bucs transition to a younger roster.
Ooh, that's
A or B.
Texans could be poised to definitely chase a championship, but
they got championship caliber defense.
The Bucs though could be poised too. I think maybe I'm projecting my fandom here, but I think it's got to be A. I would channel Ira Kaufman and say, Scott, it's got to be A, Scott. It's the only logical answer.
I think it's got to be A, Scott.
Yeah, he's got to come back and be a Buck and retire a Buck.
I think so too, man. I just think back to how it played out a couple of years ago when he hit free agency or was about to hit free agency, and he decided, you know what, we heard all the rumblings, and teams like the Kansas City Chiefs were interested, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, to other teams vying to get the prized wideout, and what do? He ditched free agency and re-signed with the Bucs. I think that's what he wants to do. That would be my guess. But if he went chasing a ring and found a good squad that's going to pick him up, and he is part of a super team, I mean, I no disrespect on that. Like, he's done a lot for this franchise, for this city. But yeah, in my heart, I think he's going to remain a Buck. So we'll go scenario A too. All right, here we go. Story number 2. The Rays spring training is now underway in Port Charlotte. Shane McClanahan is back on a big league mound for the first time in 2 full seasons following a 2023 Tommy John surgery. Last year, he had some other nerve issues in that arm. So the question is, what is more likely? That A, Shane regains his Cy Young frontrunner form by June and leads the Rays back to an AL East title, or B, the Rays remain cautious and keep him on a strict pitch count all year, and he finishes 2026 with fewer than 100 innings pitched.
Ooh, man, I wish I knew more about how he's looking, and I haven't really dived into that yet.
Well, I will tell you that he feels good. He's looking good. He's likely going to be on a pitch count throughout the course of the season, maybe not game by game, but I would think overall. I'm just not sure that 100 innings, I think that's kind of iffy. But,
yeah.
I'll let you
I like, again, this is, you're asking me to pick as a fan, so, but boy, I think A is, you know what? I'm going to go with B. I think B is more possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think B is more possible that they keep him on a strict pitch count all year, and maybe he doesn't get 100 innings. That doesn't mean the Rays can't have success, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think the part there that was added on is the Rays back in the AL East taking the title, and that, to me, I could see Shane bouncing back and having a spectacular season. But even being Cy Young form, like, that would be incredible. That would be incredible to do that coming off those injuries. So, yeah, more likely B. All right, the Winter Olympics in Milan, they are now in the quarterfinal stage in terms of men's hockey, and the Lightning, they are currently leading in their division in NHL play. But they sent just a chunk of their roster to Italy, along with their head coach, John Cooper. So the question is, what's more likely? Is it A, that the Lightning return from the Olympic break exhausted and surrender the top seed to the Hurricanes or Canadians by April?
Oh, no.
Or B, the Olympic high carries over and John Cooper uses the momentum of coaching Team Canada to lead the Bolts to their 4th Stanley Cup in 7 years.
Oh, see, now this is the genius in your questioning, because in these last two examples, you've given one of the options has a very high bar, like the Rays winning the AL East title. You're smiling at me like, yes, that's why I did this on purpose. And so I was going to go with the Olympic high carries over until you give me winning their 4th Stanley Cup in 7 years. I think they can come back and still have an incredible season and win the division. The Stanley Cup, though, I think, man, this hurts to say, because you and I talked about this. This Olympic break came at a bad time. This is the hottest team in the NHL right now. There was a stretch of a few weeks where it looked like they wouldn't lose again. But I'm going to have to go with A. They're exhausted.
I'll take the other side. I'm going to go B and make all the Lightning fans that listen to our show very happy. But I will say this. My one caveat is that the Olympic, I do think that there's a chance that they come out a little cold, that they're going to – how can you carry on the momentum at the same pace? But it doesn't say that we have to carry it at the same pace. It's just the Olympic high carries over. So, feeling good, playing good hockey. I do think this team they look like the best team in the NHL to me right now. Within the last month of the season, I think that this team is poised. And so whether that holds for the next 2 months at a consistent pace, I think in the long term, with all the veteran presence, the way the team is built, and the way they're playing defensively, goaltending-wise, man, I think they're going to win the Cup. So
okay,
I'll go B. All right, let's see. We got a little college hoops. Okay, despite being in first place and riding a 4-game win streak, most bracketologists still have the Bulls, the USF Bulls, on the lean-out side of the bubble, so not making it. They've got 2 huge games this week against Memphis, and that's likely to decide the conference title or have a big say in it. So what's more likely? A, the automatic path that USF realizes the bubble is too risky, wins the AAC tournament in Fort Worth, and secures their first NCAA bid since 2012, leaving no doubt. Or B, the bubble bursts. USF wins the regular season title, but gets upset in the conference tournament. The selection committee then snubs them, and they take a bid in the NIT.
I didn't see when I was in college. I didn't know bracketology was an option. I would have studied that. I wish I'd studied that more, like Mr. Lenardi did. I'm going to go A. I like the automatic path for the Bulls. It is. The bubble is too risky. We saw that snubbing a few years ago, and I think they know where they stand. Brian Hudson has, what's this, year 2 for him?
It's year 1.
Year 1?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Felt like year 2 because he's got them playing at such a nice pace and a good level now. I like the Bulls. I think they're going to win the AAC out of these 2 options and make the NCAA tournament.
I agree. I want to take A as well, and really it's because I feel like this team has so many new players, Chris, that it takes a while to develop some of that chemistry, and we're seeing some of these guys, different guys, step up and rise to the occasion. The rise of Wes Enos and Isaiah Nelson. So there's other players. They're playing some good ball here down the stretch, and I think that's going to carry over into conference tournament play.
Good.
All right, how about a little Tiger Woods news? He turned 50 this year, and he just told the media at the Genesis Invitational that he's hitting full shots daily after his latest procedure. The question is, what is more likely? That Tiger makes the walk at Augusta in the Masters in April, makes the cut, and breaks the internet one last time. I didn't say he wins, but there we go. Or Tiger skips the grind of Augusta, officially debuts on the PGA Tour Champions, so the Senior Tour, where he can finally use a cart and start a second career of total dominance.
Oh, man. More likely, because I've seen it before, and because you didn't say wins the Masters, I'm going to say A, that he makes that walk and makes the cut somehow.
Just because I want to see it, I got to say. Yeah. I mean, I can't even fathom Tiger on the Champions Tour. Right
I
now.
know.
I mean, it's just like, I know he's not winning the Masters. That's just not. I've been holding out hope for many years now. He's a medical miracle, just still walking with all the replaced body parts.
But he could make a cut, possibly.
I think he could make a cut.
Yeah,
I think so. All right. MLB's automatic balls and strikes challenge system is officially live for the 2026 season. Players now tap the helmet to challenge a call, and the Hawkeye computer can decide whether it's a ball or a strike. The question now is, what is more likely? Is it going to be A, the system is a hit, game times drop even more, and we eventually forget that human umpires ever had to say ball or strike, or a high-profile star like Aaron Judge or maybe Randy Arozarena loses a game on a computer call that looked outside, leading to a massive player revolt and technical glitches by the All-Star break.
Oh, no. AI ruins baseball. Let's see. I like this system. I like this rule because you can only use the challenge twice during 9 innings, and then you get to use it again in extra innings, right?
As long as you keep winning, though, you don't lose them.
You don't lose the challenges.
So you challenge and you get it right, you keep it.
You keep your 2 for a regular 9 innings. I don't think it's going to – now, the thing is, you said game times drop even more under scenario A. I don't think it's going to speed up game times any.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with A. I think it's going to be a faster and more fair system. I think we still have a lot of the human element in it, though.
I agree, A. I think that the technology moves actually pretty quickly. So
it does, but
I don't know how it can.
We don't have challenges now,
I know,
though, right?
I shouldn't have put that in there. I apologize, but yeah, I'm going to go A. All right, let's see. Okay, how about a little NCAA action?
Okay.
We are officially in the first full year of the House v. NCAA revenue sharing era, so schools are now directly paying athletes out of a $20.5 million pool. We've already seen reports of a Big Ten quarterback signing a $4 million deal that prohibits him from entering the transfer portal. So what is more likely, that we get scenario A, the system finally stabilizes college sports. Major stars stay at their schools for 3 to 4 years because of loyalty contracts, and the portal chaos finally comes to an end, or at least slows. Or B, big programs like Florida State, Miami, they use their $20 million to buy up every mid-major star, effectively turning the group of 5 into a minor league with no hope of competing for a title again.
Oh, it's B. This is the easiest of these scenarios I think you've given us so far.
Okay. I know. It's like, why would you expect it to change? What's the old saying? Like, what?
More money, more problems?
There's that too. Yeah.
Money is the root of all evil?
No, like the, what is it? Like the expecting something to change.
Oh, death and taxes? And, and college football being corrupt?
Edit this out. My brain just logged up.
Oh, he needs.
All right, here we go. All right, last one for you. You've had everyone from Bert Kreischer to Derek Brooks on your podcast here, Chris, and you've survived the randomizer glitches. Chris Cato actually taking a day off. Shout out to Sean Barry for filling in. As we head toward the 200th episode milestone, which is, it may not happen this year, but we're hoping. The show's brand is expanding. So what is more likely? the network takes over, so the Nod Pod becomes so successful that Fox 13 builds a dedicated no off days glass-walled studio at the new Rays Stadium campus on. Hang on, let me just get through it. Okay, we're so successful that we build a new glass-walled studio at the Rays new stadium on Dale Mabry, making Chris and I the official mayors of Tampa Bay. Or scenario B, producer Brian's latest game, Logotomy, or some other chaotic segment like Randomizer, like we're about to have, becomes so viral that a major sports book like FanDuel or DraftKings buys the rights to the segment, and then you and I get to end up hosting a high-stakes version of it live from Super Bowl 61 next year.
Both of these are fantastical.
I think what's more likely?
More likely is the second one, because there's no way that Fox 13 is going to build us some beautiful studio in the outside the Trop where the Rays play now at Del Mabry.
But wait, you think it's more likely that we're hosting a segment at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Does Fox have the Super Bowl next year?
I think
don't
so.
know. Maybe.
Could check that.
But I could see. But this is how things do work now, right? That it takes a segment for you to go viral. It's not the whole.
Yeah.
It's not the whole show, and that's all we need. Someone like DraftKings to realize the brilliance of Brian's brilliance.
Exactly.
And they grab it and they pay us a lot of money, and we retire.
Yeah, just that's what I keep telling Brian. Keep plugging away with these fun block segments, because one of these days, man, like it's like playing the lotto. Like you're gonna strike it. Like someone's gonna recognize the genius.
Would you agree with me? B on that one, the logotomy effect.
I think so. Both of them are glorious. I do want to be called the mayor of Tampa Bay, though. I don't know how to get there. It's probably not through this podcast.
You might have to, I don't know, do some good
right,
with your life.
Yeah. Oh, well, that hurts a little bit. Okay, coming up on the other side, someone that is doing good, and he's back with the Rays organization. Brett Phillips is our guest on the other side.
Sorry, buddy. I didn't. You do a lot of good.
You're good. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. So Chris last week saw a social media post that went out from one of the favorites from Rays fans over recent years, and that is Brett Phillips, that he had a major announcement to make. Well, he made that news that he is taking a new role in the Rays front office. So his baseball playing days now behind him, and he's focused on really just engaging with Rays fans and increasing fan fervor and ticket purchasing and excitement for this team under new ownership and a potential new home one day. And he has been named the Rays Brand Engagement Executive.
The B.
I had a chance to catch up with him this week, and I got his title wrong, but the interview was incredible. Check it out. Brand Ambassador? Is that the new title?
Brand Engagement Executive. Yes. So
I love it.
I know. I don't know if you know the song I'm a Bee by Black Eyed Peas, but I told the office I'm going to have that like a boombox on my shoulder, like walking around, I'm going to be coming through.
I feel like you've always kind of been a brand engagement ambassador in some ways for this team.
Having the opportunity to play for the Rays was a dream come true. It's a childhood dream. I'm born and raised in Seminole, Florida. I went to Seminole High School. I grew up going to those games. And then fast forward, 15, 20 years later, I'm having an opportunity to not only play for this team, but play meaningful games for the Tampa Bay Rays, play in the World Series. And so, I always remembered what would have made my experience as a kid going to the Rays games the best. Well, that was to get to meet a baseball player, seeing Carl Crawford or, all those guys, BJ Upton, Matt Garza. I mean, you can go Evan Longoria all the way through the list. Like, if I could have gotten an autograph, I don't think I ever really tried to, but to get an autograph or just to say hello to those guys, that would have meant the world to me. And so when I had the opportunity to play for the Rays, that's something I always remember, not only for the Rays, but all the other teams I played for as well, just to take the time, right? 10, 15 minutes. It goes a long way. So then the younger generation and whoever was coming to support us felt appreciated. And then when they have an opportunity later in their life and career to be able to give back and do the same, that's how we create just a generational fan base of diehard Rays fans who love the game and who love the Rays.
How did the job come about? How did this position that was made basically handmade for you? How did this come about?
That's a great question. So I've always thought about transitioning outside the game, what that was going to look like. I think you hear a lot of professional athletes talk about that transition. This is what I know. This is what I've done my whole life since I've been 8 years old. I've been playing baseball competitively. So as I saw the writing on the wall towards the last few years of my career started to fall off, I started to get older and realized that it's coming to an end. It's time to start thinking about how I want to continue to lead a life of purpose, how I was going to show my kids, continue to show them what hard work looks like. We're putting time and energy and being great at something, just like my career in baseball looked like. And I stumbled upon reaching out to the Rays this past summer when I had to wait till the new ownership group, they were going through the acquisition. And I said, you know what? I want to be in the area. My wife and I, we live in Texas in the off season, but my family and friends still live in Tampa, in St. Pete, and in Seminole. How can I bring value to the organization that I love dearly, be in the area, and just provide, be in serve, serve our community. And so started thinking, and then that's when conversations with the new ownership group came about, and that was a few months in the works because they're super busy, rightfully so. And we stumbled upon the brand engagement executive, and it's like I said, I'm gonna be wearing a lot of different hats, but it's gonna be I get to show up to work every day and be myself. And I mean, I can ask for a better job, to be able to do. So it's just such a blessing.
So you kind of sounds like you outlined and you kind of created it yourself and made this pitch. And as you mentioned, I mean, it comes at a time where there's so much going on that probably is higher in the pecking order. Kind of cool that they were willing to listen and bring in an idea and create this new position. I mean, what does that tell you about what this new management's going to look like?
Yeah, Scott, that's great. You bring up a great point. For Ken Babby to just take the time in the midst of how busy this man was with trying to put together trying to put Tropicana Field back together from the terrible hurricane to the just conversations of coming in as a new owner and what that looks like, and then taking the time to respond to Brett Phillips' email. Yeah, I was a Major League Baseball player. I played for the team. He knew of me, but he doesn't know me. And so for him to take that time to listen to me and then create that dialogue with me, I feel honored. He's a very successful man along with his team. And I like I said, I couldn't be more thankful. And it says a lot about who he is, his character in the ownership group, and how excited they are to want to give back to just the Rays fan base and create a position for a former Major League Baseball player like myself. It's big, and it shows he cares not only to me but to the fan base, and that's awesome. That's all we can ask for as Rays fans, is an ownership group that's wanting to come in and just do everything they can to make the Rays experience the best.
Has Eric or Cashy said, "Hey, stay loose, keep those hamstrings loose"?
No, the opposite. They said, "Hey, Philly, it's time. You had a good run. It's time to hang it up." But it's funny. I have to touch on those two guys while we're here. Eric Neander, who traded for me from Kansas City when he probably had no reason doing that. But in the moment, he needed a defensive outfielder when KK had gone down in the 2020 season, to Kevin Cash giving me the most opportunity in my career. I mean, those are two guys right there that I will always have the utmost respect for, just giving me some moments that I will never forget. And I appreciate the heck out of those two guys.
So now we know what he does. Let's talk about what he did on the other side. What do you say? Let's look back at that World Series and the magical airplane in center field in Arlington, Texas.
One of the greatest moments in Rays baseball history.
We'll relive it next on the Nod Pod. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. Where we left off was with our guest this week on the Nod Pod, and that is Brett Phillips. He is the brand engagement executive for the Rays this season, a brand new title that was given to him. He came up with the concept, and he pitched it, and they said, you know what, I'm going to swing at that pitch. And they took it, and now he's going to be with his hometown team. Very cool stuff. So, but we want to discuss more of some of the great memories that he left Rays fans with, and so we will continue with the interview with Brett Phillips.
Man, you made your mark with this franchise, and not a long period of time, but obviously we look back at that World Series appearance and the airplane out in the outfield. I mean, that was obviously, it was COVID year, so it was like kind of a bizarre setup, and they had like a handful of reporters that were out there, and we were sitting in center field, and I'm watching this thing, and you're kind of running around circles in center field. Like, when you think back, I'm sure as you kind of chronicle your playing days, and now it's probably increasingly more so that they're in the rearview mirror. Like, when you think about that game, that season, that run, I mean, how do you feel?
Like it's like a dream. The moment was so surreal. And I don't know if you ever knew this, Scott, but that was the first time in my life that I ever had to get an IV, because I literally put myself in a shock through excitement. So I come back into the clubhouse and everyone's mobbed me. I had to tell Ken Rosenthal like 5 minutes. Ken, right after the game, I got like a booming headache. My muscles sucked all the water out of my body. I was going into shock, and I get back into the clubhouse, and the trainers are like, yo, we're gonna have to bring you to the training room. So I go in there. Next thing you know, you got the paramedics coming in, and I'm having to get an IV. I think the death by walk-off would have been the greatest way to go, But that moment was just so crazy that it's hard for me to really put myself back into it and remember it, because of it felt like a dream. Like the next day we had to show up and we had a game, but I just remember being on the bench and looking around and just being like, what, like, wake up. Like, like this feeling of like, this is what you've dreamed of your whole life. This, playing in the World Series, having a walk-off hit. Like, we all remember being kids playing in the backyard, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, or man on second, third base, 2 outs. This is it. You gotta get the run in right here. And then to live that exact moment and for it to play out the way it did, it's just, how do you feel? How would you feel? It's like, it's just, you can't explain it type feeling.
No, I mean, it's so iconic. And like, but what made it crazy was like not only the clutchness of your hit, but it's the other drama that is playing out between home and third and Randy. Like, that was part of it too. It's just like, did you,
all the dramatics
in the moment, did you see what was happening over there? Or
no, they had to explain it to me after on MLB Network, because I had no idea. So my eyes were on Chris Taylor when he botched the ball in center. I took second. That's what we're called to do. Be aggressive. Take second on an error. And next thing I know, as I'm like getting to second base and starting to look in to see what was going on, I just see Randy like hitting home plate. And next thing I know, the dugout like was all coming, and that kind of let me know like the game was over, because I just was like, what? And then boom, there goes the helmet. Kid in the candy store. I'm flying around the outfield, like, what is going on? And that's really cool that you guys were out in center field. I appreciate you sharing that. But just a heck of a moment.
I still got it on my phone. I mean, it's like iPhone 4 version, so it's very pixelized. But yeah, no. Hey, look, if you have, since apparently you do have Ken Babby's I suggest a statue at some point. Maybe in the new, that would be perfect.
He'd be like, all right, you're getting out of hand, Philly. You hit like 200, 180, easy there.
Yeah. How was your kind of experiment in going down the pitching road too? Because you had the opportunity with the instructional league to try to catch on and develop that skill that we saw you kind of work on a little bit with the Rays. And what was that experience like?
When I was in AAA in 2024 with the White Sox, and that's kind of when I started to see the writing on the wall that my career was coming to an end. and I had gotten released by them at the end of April, so it was early May. And I asked my wife. I went to her and I said, "Hey, I'd kind of like to go out on my own terms and kind of do what I've had a great career, 13 years of professional baseball. I've always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to pitch, like for real." And she's like doing the wind up like that kind of pitch, like, what, you want to go out to like the men's league? And I'm like, "No, babe, like I want to try it." She said, "Yeah, like of course." My wife is incredibly supportive. She's like, "Go out how you want to go out." And I said, "Let's do it." So I took 3 months building up in Austin, Texas. Sean Gallagher, who played in the big leagues, he took over as my pitching coach in Sky. I had no idea what I was doing. The last time I pitched was in Little League. I didn't throw one inning over at Seminole High School, so I knew I had a good arm. And the first like week, he's like, "I think something might be there," and so I gradually started building up, getting in shape, and I get invited out to the NBC World Series in Wichita, which is like a collegiate summer championship tournament. But if you weren't under professional contract, you could play in it. So I go out there and I throw one inning, and it was lights out. I'm not like, I'll brag on myself
No,
in this
say it how it
area of
is,
my
yeah.
career, right? Like the ball, it was 95, 97, really good carry, like 20 plus inches of carry for those who know what that is. And I struck out the side. And the next morning, the Yankees called and they said, "Yeah, like, come on, we want to sign you." So I was like, "This is great." So I head down to Tampa, Florida, over there at their spring training field. And, they had me hooked up to all the sensors, and doing, I think it was like called a mocap, and going over all the information. They said, "Hey, it looks great. It looks so unconventional to the naked eye, but when it comes to the numbers, like, we like it." So started throwing. Long story short, end up tearing, get a small tear in my labrum. The 95, 97 ended up going to like 89, 91 real quick. And, of course, I'm 31 years old. My body's not what it used to. And this was so new. So I told my wife we'd give it try it a year, end up going to like Mexico for a month, and then found myself in Cleburne for the railroaders. I apologize, in the American Association League, and then got released by them, and then went to Kane County. And this is where it kind of gets cool. Last season, I'm in Kane County. George Samus, he's the manager. I'm pitching the first couple weeks. It's not good. Like, my arm is killing me. Well, he comes to me on Sunday morning, a day game. He goes, "Hey, listen, we're in last place. We're a month in. We don't have the time for like a lot of this. Like, you can still try and pitch, but we just fired our hitting coach, and we want you to take over." And so now I'm like at a crossroads where we're already in the middle of a baseball season. So it's not like I can reach out to the Rays and come on board, because that's not how it works. So I was like, this is a good opportunity to see if this is something I would enjoy. I'm done with the pitching. I made it a year. I told my wife it would be a year. So we took over last place team. And Scott, we ended up winning the American League Association Championship, which was cool in September. So I really enjoyed it. I had a passion for it. And, long term, it may still be something I pursue. But right now, it's being home. We have a 15-month-old daughter, and just being able to have that stability of being in one place and not being in somewhere in the United States, back in the grind, right? Some minor league team where I'm having to just travel around. This opportunity with the Rays makes so much sense in so many different areas of my life. And I go back to saying how blessed I am to have this opportunity, because it gives me that stability, and to be able to have this time with my daughter at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine like professional athletes, especially baseball players, that get started at such a young age, like it's really hard. Like you get to a point where you have to transition out of your sport and into something else, and you're kind of like what skill sets do I have? And it's great that you're able to stay in the game, and it's something very well, and an area and a team. I mean, that's a real blessing.
Yeah, and I've been on the road for the last 13 years of my life. I got drafted when I was 18 years old out of Seminole High School to the Houston Astros, and from there my professional journey started. I didn't go to college, so I had to grow up really quickly, and it was great. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but being on the road for so long, you get to a point where, okay, now that it's over, are you ready to continue to be on the road? These are things you have to weigh as along with, okay, what skill set do I have to provide where I can bring value to any industry? I've been swinging a baseball bat around, throwing a baseball, and that's something I always took pride in, and making sure that I was, developing other areas and skill sets of my life. And thankfully, it's allowed me now to kind of transition into this position pretty well.
Well, it's cool to see. Couldn't happen to a better guy. And so Rays fans out there expect to probably get a call from Brett Phillips, the Brett Phillips.
Yes.
He's actually calling you. Yeah,
Yes,
very cool, man. We'll be seeing you around the Trop this year, and just congrats on everything in life, the new baby, and the new career, and all of it, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I really appreciate it. And Rays fans, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out at Tropicana Field this year. There's been a lot of hard work that has been put into getting this stadium ready for a Major League season. And so again, when you see me, make sure you say hi. I'm available, and I'm looking forward. We as the Tampa Bay Rays are looking forward to seeing you out at a game.
Good stuff, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Brett.
Thanks you.
I just can't get over that he was throwing mid to high 90s. That's incredible.
This was, sometimes
he missed his calling.
He did. Didn't they use him sometimes in those games where the score got way out of control and
he kind of had the funky delivery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him he would be a great Savannah Banana.
He would, man. He would. Hopefully the executive track in Major League Baseball is one that he continues on.
Yeah.
That could be more lucrative long term. Good stuff. Always great catching up with Brett. All right, coming up on the other side, it's time to bring BK back in. It's time to dial up that randomizer one more time. First time in 2026. Welcome back to the No Off Days podcast. It is time for our fun block. Let's bring in Mr. Fun, BK, with us, and we've got a randomizer segment that it's been sitting on the shelf since 2026 began. We've kicked off the cobwebs, and it's got a little tune-up. We're ready to roll.
A little tune-up, and it is ready to go. We loaded some more questions in it this year, so I think
Did we need more? It already had like 32,000 or something.
We need to tap it into AI. So it's an endless amount of questions.
No, this has got to stay non-AI.
Okay.
I like it. It's analog.
Yeah. It's so what I'm going to do is just give you a question. You got a voice-activated stopper buzzer thingy up there. So you can say stop, and we'll see what question pops up.
You got it.
All right.
All right, let's roll the first question.
Stop.
What is your guilty pleasure purchase that you know is a waste of money, but you will never stop buying?
Well, if I thought it was a waste of money, I would stop buying. But perhaps I don't think it's a waste of money. I don't know. I probably have one too many to count. I mean, I like to smoke a good cigar, and that's not good for me probably. But
you don't inhale.
Of course not. Yeah. I'd be talking like this if I did. No, I would say this is where it makes me feel super uncomfortable. But I like going to a sandwich place here in town that I'm not going to give free advertising to, because there is a sandwich that the way that they do it, I really like it, and I probably go there like once a week.
Oh, I want to know the sandwich.
You wouldn't like it. It's nothing fancy, but I have like a craving for this. Like it's like usually my podcast night taping. I go get it, and here's the thing: I walk in and they know what I want, and I hate that. Like I gotta stop. I don't want to go, but I do. I want the sandwich, but I don't want to go because I don't want them to say, "Oh, do you want the usual with this and that, whatever." And then, you're going to combo it again, right? Yes, I'm going to combo it again. Stop saying that.
With a cookie? Yeah, with a cookie. I'm not some...
You're going to do two cookies again?
No. Why would you say I'd hate it, though? I'm not some bougie sandwich eater. I eat all the same roadside junk that you do.
No. I'll tell you.
Okay, all right. I got offended there. I want this sandwich place.
It's just basic. Yeah.
It's okay. It's bacon. I like bacon. All right.
Basic.
My guilty pleasure is paying for cable. I just can't stop myself. I have all the streaming services. I have everything, but I still want to pay the cable company.
Really?
I want
How many remotes do you
want
have?
at least 60 last count, and they are spread out in every room. I still want to give the cable. It's a good old cable company. It's an American Institute. I want to give it some money. I guess
The point
that's
is, you have to leverage these companies against one another.
I've tried
to keep
that.
your
It's too
cable
much
bill down.
work. I just had rather pay for everything.
Is Dish still a thing? Does that still exist? Is like Dish Network and all that?
Yeah, Dish still exists. Yeah.
Because I would bounce around. I was total free agent. Like,
Yeah.
let me go Dish to direct
Yeah.
to cable.
Yeah.
And now we just
Maybe I should pay those guys too. Hey, Dish. I got cable. I want Dish too.
You're just buying all.
Yeah.
BK, do you have one?
It's not a guilty pleasure. It's just on a kick I've been on of late, where I've gone on eBay and I've just started searching every famous player, every famous celebrity that had the name worldwide of Brian King, and whatever would pop up, I bought. So I've got baseball cards of Brian King. There's a relief pitcher for the Astros named Brian King.
Okay.
There's a hockey player that played in the Western Hockey Association for Tacoma in 2014 and got his autographed picture. So yeah.
Would you say you're the most accomplished of all Brian Kings?
Far from it.
Okay.
Far from it.
Was there a Brian King who was a king somewhere?
Did not
Brian
come across
V.
that,
King.
but I've gotten a Brian King singer. I got a 45 on my desk. That's actually a Brian King song.
Is he any good?
I haven't listened to it.
We gotta. It's a 45. You said?
Yeah, it's a 45.
Okay, I'll bring my record player in. We'll listen to some Brian King next week.
There's your guilty pleasure, buying records.
Yeah.
There's a Brian King country rapper.
Okay.
Get out.
Yeah.
A country rapper.
Come back to my desk.
see
I
you
got
do
all
that.
these pictures back there.
I didn't know you were doing this. You sit right next to me, and this is what you're doing with your time.
Skull knows and he laughs at me. Yeah.
Well,
That's
viewers
just
to
as
the
a-
Nod Pod know that your actual name is not Brian anyway, so
Right.
I won't.
Oh,
disclose
that's
that.
right.
So, okay, very cool. All right, dial her up.
Let's go. And stop.
Ooh. What specific smell immediately transports you back to your childhood memory?
Poopy
This
diaper memory. Give me
randomizer,
a diaper memory.
it likes to spit out smell questions. I don't
It
know
does.
why.
It
It
seems-
does.
Have we
It's
done
like
this
the-
one before?
No, well, similar. It's like the third or fourth smell question we've
I think
had.
we've had like favorite smells.
Favorite smell, your favorite baby to smell. Like, was there a baby that offended you that you
Yes,
smelled?
Yeah.
Man,
Men?
I've got it. No, not the smell of men. I'm just saying, man, this is a tough one. Goodness. I'll tell you one that's good. If I smell honeysuckle, which is a great smell, by the way.
It sure is.
There was where I lived in. We've documented well in the woods in Alabama. Okay, at the end of this remote dirt
I would
road.
think moonshine for you.
No, it was a tobacco. No, it was a honeysuckle because there was this fence line around our property, and on one section of the fence, the honeysuckle grew, and whenever it was blooming, I think summer usually, all you had to do, there was so much of it. All you had to do was walk past, or the wind be blowing the right direction, and
awesome.
you smelled it before you saw it, before you got near that section of fence, and that was awesome.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I like that. That's a good smell. Mine is really bizarre. I can't tell you why, but like when I smell a cut open bell pepper, like a green bell pepper, if I cut it open and smell it, I think of my grandpa, and I could not tell you why. Like it's always been that way. Like he must have cooked it one time. I mean, he died when I was like super young. Like, I mean, I was maybe 3 years old, 2 years old. Like, so I have no idea why, and it could be just, I don't know, maybe my brain going haywire. But
That's pretty cool, though. They say that the sense of smell does have kind of its own powerful memory, like more so than we store in our minds.
there's colognes that I smell that take me back to specific locations.
You'd rather not remember?
Yeah, right.
Like Daytona? I bet there were some smells
they,
there.
they could use a little bit more cologne, to be perfectly honest. All right, BK, you got one?
Just like I don't know if it's the oil of like a concession stand or something, but it's a unique smell because it's just not all deep fried stuff. But if I hit something that smells like corn dogs being deep fried, it would take me back to Little League, because my first Little League
Oh, yeah.
had like a concession stand that would just make those. And but it's not every I'm not going to a chicken place and smell it and all of a sudden going back to when I was 7, but it's just that unique smell. I don't know what it is, but yeah, and that just, I instantly go back to playing at Pinson Valley.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, you want another one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
And stop.
What is a false memory you have? Something you swear happened, but your family insists it never did.
Okay, so like I have a memory of when I was very young. My family doesn't insist it never happened, but they kind of look at me like, if that's how you remember it, then that's fine.
Oh,
like
one of those.
type of thing. Like I don't think they remember it, but I was in it, so it was. I think it was like first grade. It had to be first grade. There was like these big relay races.
Oh, yeah.
Amongst like first graders. We went down to this big park, and it seemed like a huge setup at the time. I felt like I was competing in the Olympics. Grandstands, but I was the anchor in this relay race, and I got the baton last. Like my team stunk. I mean, our first grade class was so slow. But I remember passing somebody on that final leg and finishing 6th out of 7.
You closed.
And I felt like I did something, you know?
closer.
Like we didn't finish dead last, even though we were supposed to. And like nobody validates that memory. And I feel like I need that validation for whatever sick, selfish reason.
Someone out there listening.
You know, if I passed you.
That he finished 6th
Okay,
and not 7.
a little chubby redhead in lane 3.
You saw him blazing by you.
You saw that bush head just bobbling.
Look at
Come
him
on.
go. There's Scooter. Scooter's closing in on the finish line.
Yeah.
Oh, similar. I'm going to kind of reverse this, and it's not a false memory I have. It's one that family members accuse me of. They have a false memory.
Okay, well, there you go.
My brother specifically swears that there was an Iron Bowl, Alabama playing Auburn, which is what we live for, right, Brian, where I fell asleep. He says I took a nap during the Iron Bowl. And now he's got a bunch of other people believing this, and it never happened. It never happened, Scott.
What year? I'm starting to believe your brother.
No, I'm so mad about this.
believe.
No, and it was when I was like an adult already.
Is this Ben?
Yeah, this is Ben.
I believe
this
him.
is all his. No, you can't believe him.
He would not lie.
Don't trust.
Why would he lie?
Don't trust
Why
those
would he make that up?
Big eyes of his. I don't know why he would make it up, but it didn't happen. Now, was there a time where I left at halftime possibly and put my son down when he was a baby and may have nodded off slightly with my son, but then came back with a lot of game left?
Yeah.
I never took a nap during that.
Okay.
Brian, you know that wouldn't happen.
No. You'd lose your Alabama card.
I would.
If you took a nap during the Iron
Sounds
Bowl.
like we need to review
And I need that card.
Yes.
It gets me things.
I got one that's twisted, but I mean, Scott, you know this one too. And my family swears it never happened, but this one person said it did. Remember we went and we talked to Coach Bowden at his house that year?
Yes.
And I grew up in Birmingham. My grandfather, my family's all, we grew up in Birmingham. My grandfather owned a garage there in Birmingham. And I told Coach Bowden, he went to the same high school as my parents. I told him, hey, I grew up in Birmingham and stuff. My grandfather, King family, and, he grew up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're the Kings.
He
You're that major league pitcher or NHL player. No, the country rapper.
I got your record.
Well, Coach Bowden said that his father sold my grandfather the property that he built the garage on.
Did.
And then he's not only that, he upped it saying that he actually handed out flyers for my grandfather's garage.
That's what he said.
Coach
I heard
Bowden
this,
said
I
that?
went,
Yes.
holy cow.
In this moment, Brian's mind is complete. We're all like taken back. Like,
Yes.
whoa.
What?
And Brian just can't. He's like out of body experience. But
I call up my dad, after that, and I say, hey, Coach Bowden said this. And no, there's no way. No way.
So,
No
Co-
way.
so
And I
Coach
said-
Bowden had a false memory.
Well, why would he even say that?
he was
He knew,
he was
but
trying to
he knew
recruit you.
specifically where the garage was. I don't know, but
So
I
wait,
still
where
think,
do you fall out on this? Are you believing Dad or
I'm
or Coach
kind
Bobby
of believing
Bowden?
still Coach Bowden because how does my dad know how his father bought property? So maybe it happened.
He had, I would say Bowden had details.
Yeah.
that I thought.
And
He
so
probably
he
still
did.
had some of those
Checked
flyers in his car.
Well, boy, that'd be nice. But yeah, how about that? And I want it to be true so bad. But
Pretty cool.
All right, how about this next one? What I'm going to do is ask a question. Wherever the question stops, you two answer for each other.
Okay.
You give me your answer. I mean, Kato gives his answer. Scott, whatever.
Oh, this is
Okay.
fun.
Yeah, this is
You
real
wanna
fun
go
here.
first?
Oh, sure.
Roll it.
And stop.
Would you rather have a 12-hour flight in the middle seat or a 24-hour bus ride in the front row? Answer for each other. Would Scott, Kato, rather ride on a plane for 12 hours or a bus?
I mean, I think I don't think Chris can endure anything. I think
What?
whatever the shortest
Been on this
possible
podcast
thing
for
is,
how
and he's
long?
a very slight man. He's got very slight hips.
I do.
I think he would be just fine tucked in between two fine people in the middle row and go 12 hours. I can't see him enduring a 24-hour bus ride.
I would take middle seat over that bus. You got me. Middle seat over that bus ride anytime. I don't care about the front row.
Now, does he answer the same question
Yeah,
for me?
yeah. What about Scott? What
Oh,
was-
Scott does not have tiny hips. But I mean, they're not wide either. And he's got long legs. I think he would he would hate that middle seat. And Scott's going to make the people on either side of him miserable. It's just miserable. So I think he would choose the 24-hour bus ride. He'd get look out the front window. He'd be happy.
No, you are wrong.
No, really?
I'm not sitting on a bus for 24 hours. No, that ain't happening. But you're right. I still hate both options. I hate them both.
I guess
I'm
that's
not
terrible.
going. Wherever we're going on this trip, I'm not going.
If
I'll
it
see you
involves-
later.
I guess
Tell
I
me
don't know
about
you
it.
as well as I thought I did.
Yeah. I'll stay at home. I'm sitting on the couch. All right.
24 hours sounds
BK?
insane. Oh, I would. 24. I would. There's no way. There's no way I'd do 12 hours on a bus. You know, so I'd take the 12-hour flight. Because if you're flying, you're going somewhere good for 12 hours.
Not necessarily.
24 hours on a bus, you're just north of Atlanta. You know.
True.
All right, one more.
Yeah.
And stop.
Would you rather spend a week alone in the wilderness or a week in a high-security prison?
What? Sometimes the randomizer. makes
Okay,
it
hang
really-
on. High security, are you in a cell by yourself?
I don't know.
Now, if
You're
you,
in a prison. You're
now,
just.
If randomizer had said a minimum security prison, I kind of want to see what that's like, where they get to, garden and play golf and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But a high security prison,
You
I'm
have a
worried.
shot collar.
I'm worried about, characters in there.
You get shivved. Yeah.
Oh,
Chris couldn't make it 14 minutes in a high security prison. He would be.
No, I would make a friend real quick is what I'd do.
Yeah.
Now, I might have to,
Yeah. Okay.
leverage some things, but I'd make a friend and we would get along and we'd be just fine. Okay? Man, this is a tough one. I think Scott would choose. Now, how is Scott being alone, though? Now, at least in prison, he's got friends, and he's got to have someone to talk to. He always has somebody to argue with. He would miss that so much in the wilderness.
I would get killed
He'd be
arguing in
arguing with
prison.
moss, with trees. He'd be babbling to himself. He would go crazy before a week has even passed. I think Scott would choose the high security prison.
I think I would too. Lock me up. I don't know. I feel like I could kind of navigate my way through for. How long do we have to be in there?
It's a week.
Oh gosh.
That's a long
Yeah.
time.
I'll take the prison, and you're taking.
No, we're choosing for each other, though, right?
What did you tell? But what?
I
what-
want the wilderness.
I told you high security.
I
Prison.
want the wilderness.
You could make. You wouldn't make it. You would a week in the wilderness.
I grew up in the woods. I'm good at catching rabbit.
But you didn't. Did you ever sleep outside?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes not by choice. Sometimes just because there was a hole in the roof.
I worry about wild animals outside. That's my only issue. I could be alone. I could be alone for a week. It's the running into a bear. Like that's my big thing.
Yeah, I guess we should.
If you take me to a bear-free area, depending what's out there. If there's
an
no
island that bears haven't gotten to.
no bears, no sharks, no
Nothing. Just
Yeah.
bunny rabbits.
bunny rabbits.
Yeah.
I like that place. Wilderness.
Take
of
us to
bunny.
Rabbit Island.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 24-hour bus ride. Never mind.
I'm watching this show on Netflix with these guys Alive. I think it's called Alive. They go to some remote place and see who can live there the longest. And I'm like, these people are cut from a different cloth.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I admire it. It's very cool.
It's fun
but-
to watch, not fun to do.
Yeah, I'm an indoor cat. BK, do you have one?
Oh, woods. There's no way. I would just be deathly afraid of prison.
I think I probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
Okay.
That was fun.
That
it?
was good. Yeah. good. It's nice to have the randomizer back, and hopefully it's featured on Super Bowl 61, BK. You keep plugging away.
we'll keep working at it. We'll keep working.
All right,
Thanks,
very
guys.
good. Thanks to our guest, Brett Phillips. Much thanks to our Nod Pod crew. We got Rochelle over here on Jib Work, looking great as always as it moves and does not hit the light
Hi,
stand.
Jib.
Look out! Oh, no!
Oh.
And we got Chris with a K on the ones and twos for Chris and BK. I'm Scott. Until the next time we're on, there are no